Trade limitless on HMX, the next gen decentralized perpetual exchange. Trade crypto, FX, commodities with up to 1000x leverage on the Arbitrum network. Benefit from low fees, multi asset collateral support, and cross margin flexibility. Check them out.
From meme to utility, Floki has it all. NFT metaverse game called Valhalla. Floki University, DeFi, charity, and shopping. Floki is governed by the people, with the people. Floki, together, there is no stopping us.
That's it. This is Adrian's Lunchik CMT, Charter Market Ignition, Crypto Burger, as some people call me. And well, welcome to the final 7th day of our Free Trading Congress. This has been 7 days already. It's the 7th day of this 7-day free virtual trade camp where people come in and learn for free, not paying a single cent, to get the reliable trading education, reliable investment education, reliable insights and actual tips, know-hows, onto how to prosper well and better. And it's all happening for free. And it's all happening because we have excellent people join us on the shows. And one of such happens to be my, well, what can I say, excellent friend, a very talented beast in the business, very charming, Prince Charming. That's for sure. That's guaranteed. Very enthusiastic person who I look up to as a friend, who I look up to as an actual hustler. He works very hard. He works long hours. He does a lot of things. He's got plenty of experience. And I'm talking about Tonye. And how should I pronounce your surname correctly for the first time in my life, bro?
With or without murdering it? Which one?
with murdering, tell me.
Anyanwu. It's actually Anyanwu.
Anyanwu.
That's the correct way of saying that.
Tonye Anyanwu. Then what's your story?
Oh boy, where do I start? So I'm in Dubai right now, for anybody who doesn't know, and Dubai has become home so fast. Anybody who has been to Dubai for even 5 minutes knows what Dubai is like, and anybody who hasn't still knows what Dubai is like, right? So it's so easy to be that place. And Adrian, for you, Dubai is now home as well, or one of your homes, right? And it's just a place where. So I grew up in Toronto, originally from Nigeria, but grew up in Toronto. Between Toronto and a few other states in Canada and all that, and visited Dubai a few times, family out here. And it's almost like when you have a Kia for a car, but then your cool uncle lets you test drive the Bentley every now and again. And you only get for like 10 minutes and then you go back to your Kia. That's how I felt every time I came to Dubai, right? And after a while, I'm like, shit, I want to drive the fucking Bentley all day, every day. So screw this. I'm dumping the Kia. And that was my quick jump over to Dubai. But again, for many, many reasons. Why? For reasons known and unknown to people, right? Everyone knows about Dubai's safety, security, all the shenanigans and all the flashiness, all the cool cars, all that. But the reality is so much more to Dubai that makes it what it is. And that's why it just became so easy for me to come out here and do what I do here,
So what exactly? What do you do here?
Oh boy, good question. We're talking daytime or nighttime? Which one is it?
Both. Give me both.
So two of my main, tech mostly, like blockchain tech. Been in blockchain since 2009. What is that? 14 years now, on and off. No, I'm not a crypto Marxist. I'm not a to the moon freak. No, it's none of that. It's just being so in love with the space and tech and all that. But beyond that, Connectopia being a tech development lab, Web 2 and Web 3, still 90% Web 2 because people are still building more apps on NFT projects, that's for sure, right? But beyond that as well, Kamal Business Hub being the hub that actually allows people that want to move out to Dubai. I've lived in Dubai for 13 years now. So taking all my experience, opening up, I have 8 different companies of mine here. So pouring all my experience and all my expertise, all the mistakes I've made into helping people who want to actually move out here. Every other day I hear a story about, some asshole or idiot loser consultant giving wrong information to clients just because they want to sell something, open a trade license here when it's a wrong trade license. So Kamal Business Hub helps people set up businesses here, resident visa, golden visas, properties, everything to do with moving to Dubai. And beyond that, getting in touch with the right connections with people. As in that, few of my local partners are members of the royal family, so we have different networking events. There's literally no one that we don't have access to. So that's sort of holding people's hand and guiding them the right way into Dubai. That is what I'll say. That's to me a lot more exciting, because you get to meet so many cool, incredible people from all over the world in 1,000 different industries. And that's a people's game. You cannot automate that. You can't replace it with an AI. It's human relationship building. I mean, the Connectopia, it's an auto run. I've got project managers, developers, all that is fine and easy, but then the Kamal Business Hub is really where you get to connect with people and meet people and grow with people. And that's what's really excited for me on the day-to-day.
Oh man, I love it. And again, full disclosure for everybody, right? I'm trying to tame myself and just keep myself quiet and silent and calm. And I told to Tonye because Jesus, running the shows, running the interviews with friends is so difficult. This is the hardest job I ever got to do, my man. Jesus Christ. So I'm
I'm trying to behave, bro. I'm trying to behave so much.
Jesus, man. I'll try basically, I'll try to keep it calm. Though, for the context a little bit before we delve fully into, the Dubai and the future of Hap and data and cryptos and so on, because there's so much to be discussed. Just before the show, Tonye and I spoke briefly about our mutual friend Snow. Shout out to Snow if you're watching this, by the way, you're awesome.
All right.
And I sent her an old screenshot that I had of your account on IG and Instagram. And I just realized that there was something off about the screenshot because it showed 25,000 followers. Now I just look at it and it's 55,000 followers, and it's like no time. So what's the secret? What's the magic sauce? Give me, sell me everything. Tell me.
Honestly, I think for a huge part, I mean, you've known me longer than my Instagram, right? And for the huge part of it all is, I think a huge part of my life was very hush-hush, very quiet. 99% of my life is offline. That's all the incredible that I know. I mean, when you're really getting stuff done, you don't have to go making noise about it, right? This is my belief, and I'm sure you know this very well, of course. But recently, I mean, 6 weeks, 2 months ago, I started the podcast about Dubai, and the podcast had two sides. One, talk about all the great things about Dubai, and two, shit in the rest of the world, right? Talk about how crap Europe is, how crap America is, how horrible all these civilized Western societies, think they are when they actually just bullshit. So that was pretty much, I think, my very provocative tongue, of course, Mr. No Filter. I think that kind of struck a few nerves, and a few videos went viral, and the followers started pouring in, and so that's sort of opened me up to say, you know what, okay, I don't have to show everything I'm doing, especially my government affiliation in Central Africa and all that, but I can at least just talk about opinion and talk about things people can relate to, and just shine light on the cool things that make Dubai what it is, and why anybody anywhere in the world should actually want to move to Dubai.
Okay, got you, right. And just following the bio you have on IG, right? It says, I help people set up companies in Dubai, make the right connections, and buy properties at Kamal Business Hub, which is pretty cool. Cannot disclose too much. Still, there's something nice coming up, right? So keep you hold on tight. Real estate website builder as well. My Portal Pro. I didn't know about this one though. Hold on.
That's a new SaaS. That's a new SaaS. I launched this a couple weeks ago. And so a lot of that is, we've done a lot of offline marketing, because through my contacts in the Dubai land department, I got access to all the agents and brokers in Dubai, all their emails, phone number, WhatsApp. So we've been reaching out to them, through WhatsApp and all that. But we pretty much, all it does is very simple. We just help real estate agents and agencies, right, set up their personal profiles on their websites, portals to list their properties, showcase whatever they're doing. Because a lot of times, a lot of companies are using these generic third-party portals, and they're spending tons of money every month. If they spent a fraction of that money on themselves, they'll have that major retainer of clientele. Because once they stop paying public portals, they lose everything. They kicked off the portals, right? But if they invested back into their own portals, their own branding, their own actual service, the clientele stays with them. The data stays with them. And a lot of agencies and agents have major problems with even managing, their problems. They have so many problems with actually managing their listings, their websites. So we not only build a website, so this is not like a glorified Wix. No, we actually manage the website for them. So the listings, the leads, all of that funnel, all of that, and filter it through the CRMs, the CMSs, everything ages. And we just become the glorified admin assistant team and tech team, and they just focus on selling.
Okay, so I'm learning. Okay, I'm learning something new. That's cool. Okay, listen. So we have the whole agenda, and I'll do my best, and I promise I'll do my best to just stick along with it and just try to shut up in the meantime, which is so hard, right? Because at the end of the day, those are the two friends talking, and this is literally, I promise, the hardest job to do, not to keep calm and to just,
Man, let's just not forget there's a camera here. That's all I'm worried about.
I know, right? I know. Oh, Jesus. Oh man. Okay, listen. Let's talk, right? So we have got a point saying Tonye's perspective on Dubai's tech evolution. What is your perspective on Dubai's tech evolution? Talk to me.
Rapid. Silicon Valley is too slow. That's probably the most apt summary I can give. Dubai, because the thing is, unlike any other part of the world, Dubai functions like a small company. Now, Dubai is a gigantic company if you want to as a small SME in regards to how rapid they implement policy, how rapid they adopt innovation. Is literally a meeting of 7 rulers of the UAE, actually, as a country, right? Of which Dubai is just one of them. And Sheikh Mohammed, the ruler of Dubai and vice president of the entire country, they sit down, leaders across themselves, take the feedback, take research, professionals, observations and comments from all over the world, right? Which they travel and they own stuff all over the world. And they just say, okay, we want this and we want the best of this. We want this, remove that, and we'll do it. And on Monday, after a Friday meeting, laws are implemented, whether it's security laws, intellectual property laws, data management laws, data migration laws, whatever you want to call it in the tech space. It's unreal how Dubai functions. I mean, I speak Dubai specifically instead of the UAE because Dubai is, of course, the most popular across the UAE. But whenever I say Dubai, I really mean the entire country. This is something that a lot of people have called me because I have so many local partners, friends, and Emiratis from different Emirates, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Ras Al Khaimah. I'm like, Tony, you always call them Dubai. What the fuck? Like, why did you call us? I'm like, bro, I'm sorry, but people don't even know what UAE is outside. So we're using that marketing branding of Dubai to label, but the reality is, like, everybody knows what Saudi is. A lot of people don't know what Jeddah is, right? I mean, a lot of Westerners, anybody in the Middle East knows that. But people know Dubai before the United Arab Emirates because it's done so much marketing and so much branding. So whenever I say Dubai, I really mean the UAE and how fast, man, aside from the security, the amount of technology here for security. And my door is unlocked right now. My car is downstairs, unlocked. I have my wallet on the chair there somewhere. I don't even know where my wallet is, and that's okay because I'll find it whenever I want, right? So honestly, without talking too much about it, rapid adoption and rapid innovation adoption is Dubai's MO in regards to technology.
MO? What do you mean? What's MO?
Motivation.
MO is short for motivation?
Yeah, it is. So
am I really this dumb not knowing those abbreviations?
No. It's a security. It's a forensic. We know when you have the motivation in court, and I said the person's MO is what was their motivation to actually make them commit a crime or do whatever or carry out a certain action.
Gotcha.
When being investigated.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. So I'm actually really this dumb not knowing this. Cool.
Smack you through this. Smack you through this screen right now. What do you mean,
bro? Oh shit! Listen. So you've mentioned Abu Dhabi. You've mentioned Abu Dhabi, of course, right?
Yeah.
Just maybe yeah, we will be. I think I'll be heading. Hold on to Abu Dhabi on 23rd and 24th, if I'm not mistaken.
For Formula One?
Maybe you. No. They had, hold on, wasn't the Formula One 26?
23rd. Oh yeah, I didn't even look at the dates. 23rd is Thursday.
You're so rich you don't even pay attention to time anymore, man.
Get out of here.
Oh man. Okay, listen. I need to remain calm. Still, Abu Dhabi, right? Dubai, Sharjah, Ras Al Khaimah, of course. So there's so much happening, and there's such a strong Dubai. Dubai is a successful emirate right here because
Correct.
It did well what it did basically, and it prospered on that, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, Abu Dhabi, when I talk to people, Abu Dhabi is like this actual well, maybe even a richer version of Dubai, right? To the again,
Okay.
I might be wrong to the actual understanding, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
which actually again just wants, it's remained a little bit less, let's say, vocal, right? Less
Yeah.
aggressive about
Yeah.
the way it promoted. Still, it keeps, the most of the wealth, the capital, and so on in terms
Yeah.
of the spendable stuff, right? I talk to the people and they spend like hundreds of millions of dollars on company purchases, like
Yeah.
every couple days a week, right?
Yeah.
So pretty much what you do. So what do you, so what if you were to pin, let's say, and place Dubai among all the other Emirates, right? You have Sharjah. Like,
Yeah.
how often do you go to Sharjah, for instance?
I'm in Sharjah once a week because one of my local partners he's a member of the royal family of Sharjah, so I'm there once a week, once every 2 weeks. But even there, I mean, he's here quite often as well, so that's why. But yeah, I'll say once a week I'm in Sharjah.
Okay, once a week. How many times you are in Iraq, for instance?
Twice in a month. Twice in a
Twice in
month.
a month.
Yeah,
Abu Dhabi,
twice a week.
twice a week.
Yeah,
Okay,
because I got
Dubai, I've
I've
never
got
been
some
out.
clients and friends out there. But the thing is
Okay.
about it is, as you said earlier, Dubai having that spotlight, everybody comes here to Dubai, right? And again, for anybody who doesn't know, we're talking 30, 40, 50-minute 1 hour drive, right? This is the distance that we're talking about. So it's really nothing. You spend that in downtown Toronto and LA traffic or in Lagos traffic, just within a few yards. So these are not really
Mm.
far places so don't think it's like 2 hours, 3 hour plane rides. No, it's actually just, there's nowhere that's more than 2-3 hours away from where I am. And
Mhm.
again, with my driving, definitely not. But it really is something that is really just easy to access the entire seven Emirates.
Gotcha. Okay. So again, I'm speaking about, Abu Dhabi, right, which
Yeah,
holds strong stake, of course, as the capital
big time.
country in a way, right? So
Easily the wealthiest
then
Emirates. Yes, easily the wealthiest Emirates in UAE.
exactly, right. And then you have, like, where I'm heading with it is, then you have, for instance, um, Iraq, which is, of course, facilitating a lot of businesses, right? On top of that, you have all those casinos kind of like starting popping in,
Yeah,
right, into
yeah,
Emirates, which is something
yeah.
that is new in a way. Isn't Iraq actually, wasn't it Iraq that's
It's
bringing
Iraq.
all those casinos? Yeah. What do you know about
Absolutely.
that?
So, so another one of my local partners, he's a member of the Ras Al Khaimah royal family as well, and we're just having more chats. In fact, we even have an event coming up in a few days here in Dubai to capture the Middle Eastern, the UAE Emirati culture and history and all that. But Ras Al Khaimah has taken the leap on being the forefront of the casino structure, and now they got the Wynn approved in there. They got a bunch of other big players coming through. Even as I speak right now, I'm actually helping a few Chinese friends of mine, acquire contacts and clients and friends, acquire, subprime casino licenses as well to operate, whether virtual licenses, virtual casinos or in-person casinos. So obviously you're going to have all the big dogs and all the big names, but they're also going to be small, medium-sized players that are going to funnel in there as well. And I can already see right now, real estate in there. For example, the studio apartment that was within proximity of this location was about 300,000, 200, about 70 to 100,000 dollars for a studio apartment to buy, and now the same apartment is going for $250,000 to $5 million, right? So depending on the location, depending on structure, view, beach, no beach, all of these, of course, agents, some developers overhype things, and that's fine. I mean, you buy what you buy, right? But I can see it's rapidly. I mean, I think that development is going to single-handedly boost the country's economy. Single-handedly boost it, because gambling is a pastime. Gambling is a religion for some people, right? And people do not get tired of pissing money away, no matter what the addiction is, right? So these
We
are
love that in
something where
crypto.
oh,
We
we
love doing that
definitely
in
love it for
crypto day in
sure.
day out.
Right. So this is something where and it's going to ripple down. Yes, this is Ras Al Khaimah, but nobody's going to come to Ras Al Khaimah without visiting Dubai or going to Abu Dhabi for Formula One or the Grand Mosque or whatever it is, right? Or the Sharjah Festival. So everybody benefits from everything. Dubai has just really gone very far in its development, and Ras Al Khaimah is starting to really, really develop, also growing really quickly. But I can see that is going to pour fuck you ton of money into Ras Al Khaimah. Like a ridiculously astronomical level of money that's going to flow through here with that. Crazy.
Oh man, so wasn't there like the Wynn casinos coming in? What was that?
So Wynn is already
was a Wynn,
licensed.
right?
Yeah, Wynn is being developed. They're building actually going through the construction of the Wynn right now in Resakaima. I think for now, as far as to the best of my knowledge, that's the biggest approved casino in RAC. Probably some other development plan. I'm meeting my local partner in 2 days to discuss a few things and see what's up. I'm going to get more idea on the master plan, developments and all that. But there probably going to be a lot of other big players. Like they say, first doesn't always mean best, right? So we're going to see more come in.
Well, big players, you'll be there. That's already good enough.
Oh, yes.
Isn't it?
If my missus wants to know where to find me, I'm in RAC for sure.
Bro, no, listen, I mean, for everybody's better understanding on the actual, let's say, return side, right? Because the risk seems to be fairly limited. I mean, it used to be for the overall, again, UAE, the United Arab Emirates, for all the neighbor countries, if you will. There used to be a lot of what do you call that? Like a very infamous regulatory framework to the foreigners, right? It was very conservative. It changes. It started opening up, right? And more countries kind of like are trying to follow, learning from the mistakes that Dubai made, right? There might have been a couple. Still, Dubai was one of the first ones to basically prove to the world that, first of all, it's doable to have a hub like this, to have a cyber hub, crypto hub, blockchain hub, the innovation hub, right? It's like if you were put a pin on a global map, on the world map, you're gonna put it in Dubai, basically, right? And there are so many other, and there are so many other countries, that offer right now this that basically are building Dubai alike. They're building like similar to Dubai, still, like I said, making making their notes, learning from the lessons learned over what didn't what didn't go as planned in Dubai. Still, what I mean is to give you a little bit of understanding to everybody who's watching and listening. The return side, because I spoke about the risk side, it's very limited. It used to be cultural kind of like driven in the past, which might have been bigger, and there are many different local customs that would put foreign people into the jails for doing some stuff like smoking cigarettes, whatever, just trashing stuff like that. Still, the return side is gigantic, because even the real estate, right? Real estate, which basically we're talking about 6-8% yearly return on rentals. There is a very, unless you're a developer who pulls off 30-40% maybe on the actual investment size on the return. Just to give you an example, villas in Dubai over the last, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, 2 decades, right? The villas went, the cost of villas and the rentals, the cost of villas went, I think, times 20, times 10, easily. 10x, 20x on real estate. Isn't it fucking crazy for real estate to experience such a growth?
There's no other part of the world where it's actually gone the way Dubai has. And it's funny you say that, because to go back to 2 things I would actually love to pick on is, one, you mentioned the actual progression of the laws. And I also noticed as well, I've been coming to Dubai for nearly 2 decades, right? My mother has been coming for 3-4 decades. So my mother has been coming to Dubai just around when the UAE was first formed, right? And this is something where you can see the major culture shift, even before Sheikh Mohammed became ruler of Dubai. And he took this, radically innovative, high-speed, mentality and injected it into Dubai, right? Dubai was still kind of trying to be conservative and all that, and things were still moving. It was almost like a silk road for gold, right? You had a gold souk. Everyone was coming in to buy gold and trade and all that. And then Sheikh Mohammed came and was like, nope, let's take some tri-turbo cylinders and attach this machine and add some down pipes and let's go, right? And then you saw all the craziness. And I also realized, even at that time, when Sheikh Mohammed hadn't really gone to, drastically fast forward, there were lots of false perceptions about Dubai being portrayed, which even till today, the West and international news agents still try to talk bullshit about Dubai. Like, oh, Dubai has no culture, Dubai has no history, Dubai has this. Nobody's arm ever got cut for stealing a bottle of water. It never happened. And these are the kind of bullshit stories that the West always lied about to scare people from coming towards this emerging market. Till today, nobody's arm gets cut if you steal something. In fact, you can even have the police in front of you, and you can plead to the police, and depending on the person who was actually involved, it really comes out. Listen, like for example, I got in a fight. Well, I can't really call it a fight. It was a midget. The guy was like 5 feet or 4'11", whatever. I'm 6'3", right? This guy who was drunk, obviously in DIFC, which you know very well, he comes out. This is just around the holiday period. It was just about to be the Eid 2 days before, and something happened. There was a friend of mine that was also drunk. He came out, mistook the car because my friend has a Range Rover down in Romania. He comes, opens the car door, walks in, and it's like, yo, I'm going to drive home. I'm like, bro, that's not your car. So I had my car, the Bentley in front. I was like, hey, come, man, this is the wrong car. So I apologized to the owner of the car, who also wasn't sober while he was about to drive, right? So I take my friend out, trying to calm the whole situation. I go over to my car, put my friend in, and then this guy leaves his car, obviously intoxicated, comes and starts chatting shit. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? He mistook a Range Rover, a Bentley for a Range Rover. You're welcome. Obviously, that was a bit chatty and mouthy in my mouth, right? I was like, listen, he had the car before, okay, and he was going to go in my car, but he took a mistake because he was drunk. Leave it off. And then his friend, I think they were Chechen or whatever. His friend comes, literally just yapping at me and starts swinging at me without even trying to understand what's going on. I'm like, I can see these short hands just flying towards me. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Anyway, I turn away, like everything's all done, and he still comes back and swings one at me. So I block their cars. I call the police because I was like, if I hurt this guy, if I punch him once, he might not actually make it. So I'm going to actually call the police. The police came by. The police saw me, saw the guy. I was like, listen, police pulled me over in Dubai. He's like, this guy's obviously very drunk. You can press charges. You can do whatever you want. We're going to go over there, do paperwork and all that. But it's like, he looked at my face like, are you really hurt? Are you really, really so badly hurt? So look how small this guy is, the police tells me. Do you really want to waste your time and press charges? I'll do it. I'm ready. It's my job. But honestly, if you can let it go, just let it go. It's not that big of a deal. People like this is like something bad is going to happen to them anyway. This is a police officer in Dubai telling me this, right? It's like, whatever you want to do is up to you, but sometimes just let some things go because there's such a huge level of humanity in the culture here. Hospitality and humanity. Even when things go wrong, right? In Dubai, people who are rude and unruly are never the locals. Rarely. Okay, there's always going to be an exception, but rarely the locals. It's usually foreigners who try to act like the locals. They could be from another Arabic country or whatever, dressed up in kandura, carried a car, whatever, and they try to be rude and misbehave. Locals, some of the most hospitable, most well-behaved people, most polite people you're going to meet ever, right? And then I realized, you know what? Screw it. It's not really worth my time going down for a few hours at the police station, pulling him over, and when you get in a fight, they're going to call you back later or talk or whatever. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. This is going to be hours and days of my time wasted. Not worth it. And I left. Now, the news will probably say Dubai is a place where, the police are going to do this and go do that and brutality, which is bullshit, right? So I just want to really clarify, and I've been here for 13 years almost. So I've seen ups and downs, and I have a wild life. I'm not a person who leaves shy. So I've been exposed to all kinds of daylight, nightlife, you name it, right? So that's something I wanted to really put out there for people to understand the mentality of Dubai is not the bullshit that's BBC and all this CNN talk about. You got to come here and see it for yourself, how clean and comfortable and calm and easy to get things on Dubai is, right? And then, of course, on the other side is, of course, in the real estate, where anybody who's actually come out here and experienced this culture I'm talking about and played a bit with the real estate and dibble-dabble in there, they can really see firsthand Dubai is also a very cheap place for real estate. Like I live downtown Dubai. I'm literally a few yards away from Burj Khalifa. And the cost of this apartment is a fraction of what a one-bedroom, and this is a two-bedroom plus maid, right, downtown, is less than what a one-bedroom or a studio in Monaco with shit view, an old 100-year-old building is going to cost me. And for a lot less value, a lot less freedom, a lot more closed circuitry, not enough innovation and adoption as Dubai has, right? So for the value of what you get in Dubai, Dubai is super discounted. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah. I mean, the first time I brought my parents in here, right? I mean, the first time I was here, and that was the all effect, right?
Yeah.
That was, I mean, everything was big and flashy, and while some people, may not necessarily appreciate it, I'm kind of like indifferent about this. Still, what cannot be denied, what cannot be refuted, is that Dubai is service oriented, right? So there is a lot of
Absolutely.
service happening, and by meaning that, I don't mean just the service as a company, as a business,
Yeah.
giving the service to somebody. I mean an actual cultural business,
Yeah.
cultural service, right? So this,
Yeah.
because Dubai is so much driven by the business these days, right?
Yeah.
Um, it it seems, and I might be wrong, right? It seems that it has incorporated the service as a critical part of the culture itself. So wherever you go in
Absolutely.
Dubai, there's not a single place that you're not going to experience 10 out of 10 service. Isn't that right?
100%. 100,000%. I even made a video recently that went a bit viral on TikTok talking about how shit of a service you get in Europe, no matter how much money you're spending. Compared to Dubai, where you go to the smallest, you know, least price, place, and you're getting called sirs. And it's not because they're calling you sir to boost your ego. It's the service soul, as I call it, and that hospitality they have towards serving you. Now, there's a difference between being of service to somebody and being somebody's slave. No, I'm not. There's no another, again, bullshit lie that has been told about the Middle East and how we got slaves here. I don't. That you've been here so many times. You live here now. There are no slaves in Dubai. That's bullshit. There's nowhere in the world you go where you don't have service personnel, right? So this is something that Dubai has done very well. No matter how cheap, no matter how expensive of a place you go to, you're getting incredible service that you just look around. I mean, you go to Europe and you're about to spend 3,000 euros on a dinner and a lunch, and they're acting like they it's a favor to you that they let you in their restaurant. You spend all your money, and they just say, you know what? Now I feel like you can go now. That's that nonchalant attitude Europe gives you, and then they expect a tip at the end. In Dubai,
Yeah.
they just serve you. And that's it. If you tip, it's great. In America, in New York, in Canada, tip for me is spelled TAX because it's like no matter what kind of service they give you, they put a tip in the bill. I'm like, no, chill, chill. It's called a tip. It's voluntary. It's not by force, right? So you're not going to tell me I'm going to mandatorily pay you a tip when you just my eggs came 15 minutes late, my bottle of water 20 minutes late, and you still want a 20% tip or a 15% tip? Go fuck yourself. Literally, this is my opinion. So I'm like, if you don't want, if you're gonna spit in my food next time, you're not gonna see me here ever again to even have the opportunity. So I'm not even
Bro,
gonna come back here.
bro, I've seen this meme floating, I think, meme floating on X on Twitter. And that was the guy who went to the self care self service shop, the manless shop. Basically, you come in,
Yeah, yeah,
just register the whatever, prepayment, whatever you do. I don't know. I'd never used it, by
yeah.
the way. Should do it. So and then when they leave,
Yeah, you have
basically give.
all your servants and maids to do all the work for you.
Oh yeah, there as well, right? And then when you leave, you basically kind of like reverse the situation, because instead of the waiters or the service, the employees kind of like, taking that tip offer from you, like whether you want to drop deposit like 5, 10, 15, 25, or 100 whatever percent. It's like you take this terminal and you give it to the actual owner of the shop to give you a tip for managing it for yourself, right? So this is
Really?
I mean, listen, that's a meme. I don't know if it's real or not. Still, what I mean is that
But that's a good, that's a
the-
nice, that's a nice concept though.
I know, right? I know that you should be actually you should be like you're doing someone else's job in a way, right? So perhaps it's
Literally.
you who should get a tip instead of
Yeah,
the shop or whatever, and then you get a
yeah.
taxes on top of that, right? So listen, we've spoken. Time flies so fast. We've spoken, on the return side, on the real
Okay.
estate side, on I know, right, on the business side, and there is so much. Let's let's imagine. Listen, let's imagine I'm the biggest naysayer, doomsayer, disbeliever, and I never been to Dubai. And okay, I mean, I take your point, on the real estate, like return. Okay, I'm still not convinced. Convince me
Yes.
more. Why should I come to Dubai ever?
I'll ask you first of all where in the world you are, and then I'll ask you how much tax you're paying, and I'll ask you if you're a straight guy, how many beautiful women you see per every 10 women that walk by. And I'll ask you how many Lambos and how many Ferraris you want to own in your life. And I'll ask you how many you see every day where you are. And then I'll ask you what industry you are. And I'll ask you how fast and how innovative and how supportive is the location where you are of your industry. And I'll tell you what, no matter what your answer is to that question, you cannot beat Dubai in any of those sections. You cannot. Nowhere in the world can beat Dubai in those questions I asked you, whether it's tax, whether it's convenience, whether it's beautiful women, beautiful cars, costs of living in ratio to other standard parts of the world. Downtown Dubai is Upper East Side Manhattan, right? Downtown Dubai is, Monaco. These are what you should be comparing yourself to, right? Downtown Dubai is Singapore, right? This is what Dubai in general is Singapore, it's Monaco, it's London, it's Paris, right? It's New York. These places are 2 to 5 times the price of living comfortably for the quality of life that you get in Dubai. So if you want to piss money away, and I'm talking about if you want to actually live very comfortably without moving to Bali, which is not a really great place, or Colombia, which is actually better than Bali in my opinion, or going too far, to a place that's just a reclusive, over nature, dirty, insect infested place, just because people go there for vacation, doesn't mean you're going to live there. You can go for a place for 3 weeks, a month, even 6 weeks, but the place you can really live and call home, there are very few places on earth that come close, let alone there's nowhere on earth. And I'm not saying this, Dubai government doesn't pay me to say this. I say I choose to live here. I can move to any corner of the world I choose right now and live the same standard of life. Nothing will change. But the fact that I choose to live in Dubai is because Dubai has given me the reason to be here. And that's why I can talk like an evangelist so boldly and so unequivocally about how amazing Dubai as a city is. And it's still not done because Dubai really flexed its muscle and showed, I kid you not, 7 out of 10 people I met who came for a 1 week or 2 week or even 3 days vacation in Dubai ended up staying from 2021 until now. Everybody that came through, 7 out of 10 that I met. So the rest 3 that left, 2 came back after a few weeks or a few months or a year or whatever. Because when they go back to Germany, go back to Austria, go back to Czechoslovakia, go back to Switzerland, go back to London, they're like, I'm in a shithole. Literally, I'm in a shithole because the government doesn't give a shit about me. All they do is take, and they give me nothing. Okay, yeah, you get some child support, you get some medical support, but if you're making $100,000 a month, there's no amount of tax where 50% is justifying your lifestyle of what they're giving to you. The government is not giving you $600,000 a year in value. It's not happening, right? And this is where they rob and rob and rob. I don't believe, because you make more money, you get taxed more. That's the biggest bullshit. You're punishing innovation. You're punishing hard workers. You're punishing smart workers who are even creating jobs for other people. You're punishing me to get smarter. You trying to tell me I have to stay dumb. Dubai doesn't give a shit. First of all, there's no income tax in Dubai at all. And the 9% corporate tax on profit is fully deductible. Dubai gifting is part of the law. It's a Sharia law to gift somebody something. Donations are part of Sharia law. You can write off everything by just saying, you know what? I don't want to pay this tax. I want to give it all away. I want to buy myself a gift. I want to buy somebody a gift. In America, it's bribery when you buy a partner a gift or a supplier a gift, right? In Dubai, it's appreciation. It's culture. So these are the things that make such a tiny, tiny shift in the mentality, but 1 degree difference that just makes a totally different pathway.
Okay, so I'm getting closer, right? I mean, I get your point. I'm still not convinced. What else? What are the name 3 other points that I could do when I'm in Dubai that I couldn't do anywhere else in the world?
Well, 1, Dubai is the safest city in the world. That's 1. Right, you don't lose your wallet in London. First of all, you won't even have to lose your wallet; they'll take it from you. There's a difference, right? You don't lose your wallet and find it back in London, right? Second, Dubai is now the fastest growing city in the world. It's the fastest accelerating city across all industries, right? All the big tech companies are coming down to Saudi and to Dubai, to the UAE, Abu Dhabi as well, but as a country now, UAE, right? And third of all, there's no city in the world, the entire world, that the government has your self-interest at heart. Primarily, it's people first, customer first. One of my videos that went viral with almost 4 million views, talking about how Dubai is a company, not a city. People are put first. Legislatures are built around people. not the other way around. Now, find me a place that beats Dubai in these three places in any of these things, stay there. Don't even come here. That's my answer to you.
Okay.
Don't even come, because then you have better life.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so the returns, of course, the returns, security, safety, the openness. I mean, the service mind. I take it.
Yeah.
Right. What if I am a crypto folk and I want to do crypto safely? Well, can I do it in Dubai?
Absolutely. There's something called VARA, Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, which is the governing body for an authority for regulating crypto and blockchain. And it's taken a little while. It's been roughly 2-3 years of them trying to wiggle their way through, of course, COVID and all that, plus and minus and everything being delayed. But they've finally gotten into a very solid place where they've said, hey, listen, we are going to regulate and be a sort of umpire. We're not gonna, limit you. We're not gonna tie your hands or your legs. Do things legally within a certain framework. The rest is fine. But as long as you fall in that sort of framework, and even then, it's all still investigatory, where they're gonna come and say, okay, if you violate anything that is seemingly to be a problem, we're gonna look into it and see what have you really violated. Have you violated policy? Somebody just asked, can you eat pork in Dubai? Yes, you can eat pork in Dubai. We have pork stores. Every store in Dubai has halal and non-halal. So Muslim only area, which is the halal meat. And then we got in most of the stores, in the biggest stores, Spinneys, Carrefour, they've got pork sessions as well. So, I mean, I always have pork barbecue. So there goes the question. Anyway, so back to what I was saying, right? So the VARA, Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority, has established lots of framework, custodianship, exchange, brokerage, you name it. Right. And there are a bunch of exchanges popping out here now. They're going to be having a few more financial. I just had a meeting yesterday. One of my friends who was he bailed the STC bank, worked at STC Bank in Saudi and with a lot of the infrastructure. And from there, he has a lot of proprietary access to financial technology and financial information with Ministry of Finance in Saudi, UAE, Abu Dhabi, and there are a bunch of infrastructure, tech infrastructure, financial infrastructure coming in that are going to perfectly infuse. Now, this is not a glorified exchange, but an actual bank with an actual IBAN and a full banking structure with crypto infused into that. So you're not going to be having limitations of exchanges. No, you're going to have both regulatory systems, fiat and crypto and blockchain, working perfectly in tandem, perfectly yin yang. So these are things that Dubai is spearheading. And as you know, everyone is moving their money to Dubai. Everyone. And they're finding things to pour into. So in a matter of 1 to 5 years, you're going to have some of the biggest VCs in the world, aside from the UAE government that's spending a fortune, as you said, billions of dollars every other day on acquiring things. You're going to have lots of private equity VCs funneling themselves into here.
Yeah, I mean, I take those points. I mean, again, I'm with you, right? So let's say I encourage actually, people and everybody who's watching, shout out if you're watching that and if you're listening. By the way, make sure you hit the subscribe button, smash the likes, the drill. That helps the algorithms. We are living in a digital world, cipher world, and that's the way that the message is spread out. Just like, today's session again for the Free Trading Congress, for the 5th edition of Free Trading Congress with Tonye Anyanwu. Still having, Jesus, I think 10, 15 minutes. There's so much still that needs to be discussed. I know, right? I encourage everybody again to drop their concerns, right, about Dubai, because it's at times until you visit, there are a lot of concerns, and I understand that, right? I might have had similar concerns in the past myself. So another one, which is something that I appreciate, is Dubai sounds like a bubble that sooner or later will burst. Is that true? What's your stance?
That person sounds like a hater.
Yeah, okay. I mean, regardless. So is that a bubble that sooner or later can burst?
No chance, because the data shows very much. And if that person does just a little bit of digging, not bullshit BBC, Western media, wraps around nonsense. No. In fact, just book a ticket and come to Dubai and you tell me how much of a bubble you feel you're in. And the reason I say that to add more facts to that is it's all about, so everything I'm saying here is not opinion. I'm not giving, some subjective opinion. Everything I'm saying is objective fact that can be verified by anybody who just walks in through Dubai airport, right? You need just 5 minutes of being here, and you're going to notice the difference between landing in Indonesia, in Philippines, and in Dubai, or in London, or in New York, and in Dubai, right? It's immediate. It's not a delayed response. No, this is electric traction and response on the throttle, right? And a lot of times when people say Dubai is a bubble, that just sounds like what the media has been publicizing. Now, how is Dubai a bubble? Every single modern civilization has gone through phases of innovation, phases of development, phases of incentivization to attract people in. Now, where they've all fallen off is they've stopped doing what they were doing in the beginning that brought people in. There wasn't always 55% tax in every part of the world. Everything has migrated. Politicians have gone greedy. They've lost track of people put us here to look after them, and then they flip on the people. Dubai doesn't have that. And for as long as Dubai stays that way, there's no bubble to burst. Dubai is merely that great marketing brand that has attracted people on quality, experience, service delivery, and people are echoing. So I'm one of those who have come into Dubai, and I'm a free evangelist just echoing what I've experienced. And there are millions of others like me. Nobody that really loves Dubai or really live in Dubai very well, again, with an open mind. Because think about coming to a place like Dubai with a closed mind is, no matter what Dubai does for you, no matter what anybody's experiences in life, if you walk through a place with a closed mind, nothing, like I say, you have to go through a place and you have to let a place go through you. If you go in closed as a little bulletproof tank, nothing's going to happen for you, right? So you got to have an open mind and say, okay, this is different from what I'm used to, but what are the pluses? What are the minuses? How can I actually benefit and take advantage of this? And when you actually experience that for yourself, you can never walk around and say that you're a bubble, that Dubai has a bubble. Never.
Okay, I mean, see, so it's completely okay. Just to kind of like make it clear, right? There's probably not necessarily a good or bad answer to it, right? Because it's okay to have concerns, right? Like I said, I might have had,
absolutely.
It's perspective, right? I might have concerns, might have had the concerns myself. I truly understand that. Because of, at times, maybe the media propaganda, maybe whatever, one case of a robber you see, that we tend, like, as people, I'm guilty, myself, I did this 5,000 times, I'm wrong, 50 times a day, right? This is wrong a lot of times. So what I mean is that let's say, I used to watch a lot of TV back in the day. I used to years ago, right? Years ago, too long to even remember. I used to, care too much about the politics, right? And I could imagine back in the day that my voice would actually matter, which, as a matter of fact, that didn't fulfill true. It didn't come true, right? It didn't much matter because even when there were elections, there would still be, some shenanigans going on behind the scenes in the elections where, overrun, whatever should happen. Still, what I mean is that regardless of the concerns, regardless of the actual, opinions, just maybe, like you said, there's a way to convince ourselves to come in Dubai and to actually see it for ourselves, right? So speaking of which, there was a very good question from Nitpar, and I appreciate thank you much for a lot for the question. What steps can we take to move as a trader? And to make it even more general, I want to move in, for instance, being a trader, right? How do I actually get there? What's the process? What should I do?
Now, when you say trader, we're talking about day trader or proprietary crypto trader?
Let's do a day trader.
Day trader. Now, if you're going to come in as day trader, here's the thing. There are two kinds of day traders, right? Own funds and other people's money, right? OPM, right? Now, if you're trading your own funds, you got no regulations, you got nothing to worry about. Dubai doesn't have any questions for you. All you need to do is have a residence visa in Dubai. So it doesn't matter whether it's your job or you open a trade license or a business license to allow you to have have a visa, or you buy a property to allow you to have a visa. As long as you're legally in the country and you legally have your bank statements and your bank accounts operate, again, this is your personal preference, right? You can trade as a day trader on your personal funds, zero questions asked, zero tax paid on that. If you're now trading with other people's money, then you now have financial regulatory authorities that have your different governance, depending on, of course, scale, structure, jurisdiction, protocol, which again, this is With the financial law in Dubai is as international as it gets. Whether it's the mainland or the free zone, Dubai's financial laws are super advanced. In fact, it's a lot more lenient than a lot of other parts of the world, right? Things are faster, relatively cheaper to even establish a financially regulated license to collect funds from other people. So whatever structure you want to go, once you identify which one you want to go with, then that depends which journey you're going to have. But either way, the best thing to have in mind is it's very, very straightforward and easy.
Okay, so why don't we kind of like try to label the process, right? So step
Sure.
one is what?
So step one, if you're now let's do for I'll imagine 80% of traders are single, own money traders. Just rough number. Those folks who need to just get either a freelance visa to be able to legally be in Dubai, to acquire a bank account to operate with any trading platforms they're dealing with, wire transfers, IBANs, whatever, MT5, whatever that is, right? And then they'll need to have a business license, which again, the reason why you get a business license is because to get a visa in Dubai, there are only four ways: a job, a business, property, or a golden visa, which a golden visa is something you got to be eligible for, and you don't have to be tied to any of these other three things, right? So as long as you have a residence visa from either of these four categories, you then come in, get your trade license, get your account, and off you go. So you want to live in Dubai, not live in Dubai, you want to have property here, not have property here, totally up to you, but you're a legal resident by just having your residence visa, and then you can trade with that. Now, when you now want to trade with all the people's money, you now become a capital, right? You're a firm now. A firm now has to go through what sort of hierarchy, what sort of commodities are you trading, what products are you trading, what volume are you trading. Now, the standard law in the UAE is whatever your trading volume is, you need to have a certain capital of 1/52 weeks of actual capital volume, annual capital volume, right? And then you have to get a trade license, which is a management capital license or a fund license or a trading license for actual financial assets, fiduciary services, whatever the label is. There are tons of categories that will need to be specifically found based on what the person's specific needs are going to be, right? Then we acquire them from the adequate financial authority, central bank, Ministry of Finance, DIFC. There are many different authorities where you need to really get the person's requirements and know, okay, this is the best route for you. Get a trade license, regulated, get an office, regulated, get a residence visa, get a corporate bank account, personal bank account, and off you go. Then you go into your marketing. And you can do whatever the hell you want within those lines, the same way you would any other part of the world.
It's fairly simple, it does.
It's very, very
right?
simple. It's really,
fairly simple.
really simple. I've set up about 4 financial instrument licenses in the past 6-7 years. Of course, these are not license. These are not the kind of license that you open 100 of. These are not trading licenses. These licenses take months to set up. Right? I've done about 4. I'm talking about tier 1 to tier 2. One of them had a banking license, was a full-fledged banking license. So I've had experience to all of those things, and even I wanted to establish a fintech myself, but I underestimated the budget required. After I threw like $70,000-$80,000 in, I realized I had another $300,000-$400,000 to go. But again, that was my mistake with my initial, strategization. I was like, you know what, I can either count my losses here and just step out, or I can go all the way through. So there are many different routes depending on the requirements. And I can always talk to the person, get the requirements, and then I'll tell them in my experience exactly what route to go through.
I got you. Okay, so one last question from the audience, and I appreciate it. How to handle the weather? Let's give it a quick one.
Dubai, I know people are going to say, what the hell are they talking about? What I'm going to say now, but Dubai has the best weather in the world. And I say that because for 9 months of the year, you have incredible weather. There are very few parts of the world where you can brag of 9 months of great weather. Winter gets a bit chilly, but not as cold as Russia or Toronto or America, of course. Right? You have Dubai does a lot of cloud seeding. This year we had a relatively decent summer because of the cloud seeding. They made it rain. For those who know what cloud seeding is, they made it rain during the hot summer, and temperatures were down by 2 to 5 degrees lower than what it normally would be. And it made it more bearable, less humid. And honestly, if you want to travel in summer, you can, if you think it's too much for you. But I spend summers here because summer is very quiet. Plus, just don't go walking in the streets. And even if you do, you can. Everything is mental. Soldiers go through a lot of harsher environment. I'm not saying you have to be a soldier and suffer, right? But whatever you mentally tell yourself is unbearable becomes unbearable. Winter is worse than Dubai summer, right? I grew up in Toronto with -20, -30, -40 degrees. That is more unbearable than, in my opinion, summer. Because summer, you just go through air conditioning, taxis are air conditioned, buses are air conditioned, bus stops are air conditioned, train stops are air conditioned, cars are air conditioned, everywhere you go, supermarkets, you name it. So living through the weather is very bearable, much more than people that actually, are sort of forced to think.
Got you. And the final one, Tonye,
Yes.
to sort of answer the critical question for today's theme and today's session, is Dubai the actual future data hub of the world?
Yes. Dubai is currently, I'll say, now this is where it gets, there are a lot of proprietary knowledge I've been opportunity to have access to, which obviously I cannot just go blurting out and have a few black GMCs, bulletproof GMCs show up downstairs to my door, right? But the migration, first of all, to give people an idea, the head of Interpol is in Abu Dhabi, he's an Emirati, right? And that just gives you a little hint of what really is transpiring and the capacity, the silent power that United Arab Emirates has and the Middle East as a whole has. And when you now take into account one of Binance's most active, best relationships is in UAE and Abu Dhabi as well, right? So there are many factors, silent and public, that really go to show the actual data-centric nature of the UAE. And the UAE being the safest, one of the safest, even though the safest country in the world, actually, in my opinion, the safest country in the world, is only possible with physical and cyber security in place, right? And for them to be able to have that level of security, you can only imagine, you can just let your imagination run through the level of cyber capacity that this country actually possesses.
That's about right. And before we wrap, this is a kind reminder to everybody that we are wrapping actually the first out of several sessions for our final day of the Free Trading Congress, where you get the reliable education about trading, investing, crypto, and so much more, as proven in today's session with our today's VIP guest, Tonye Anyanwu. And you probably want to make sure that you have Tonye on your following list for IG. So make sure you go ahead and check the Instagram of Tonye Anyanwu. Basically, $55,000. It's pretty hard to fake it, so you're gonna like it. Very, very enjoyable content. I like it myself. Love the quality of what Tonye does. Make sure you follow as well Tonye's TikTok. There was a handle for it. And Tonye Anyanwu, this is such an incredible, again, opportunity and a guide, I think, to everybody who was a little bit restrictive and conservative against coming into Dubai. However, probably coming through the session, it might be a little bit easier to come in and just pull the trigger and maybe convince yourself to go and check it. Because once you check it, it actually stays within you, right? And so many opportunities. Again, if you haven't, speaking of the Free Trading Congress, claim your free access, which is right there at the bottom of the screen at theburbiners.com/FTC. You still have got time. We're still not finished. This is the final day, and you're still going to get and equip yourself with Trading Educational Access VIP group, whatever you name that. It's all unlocked. It's free. It's waiting for you. Just get on the link, theburbiners.com/FTC, and you're going to enjoy this. And ladies and gentlemen, what can I say? My good friend, very talented person, as you can say, very charming person. It's hard to deny that. Influencer, very big professional in this space, and someone that I truly look up to, Tonye Anyanwu, who has been our guest. Thank you so much, Tonye, for your time.
Bro, I really appreciate your opportunity, and thank you so much for having me. And I just hope I was able to give value to one person, anybody out there to just make the move. And not because it's Dubai, it's progressing to somewhere better. Whether it's Dubai today, whatever it is tomorrow, I will be talking about that new place the same way if that place can offer the value Dubai is offering right now. But as of this particular moment in time today, Dubai is where people should be at. So I really appreciate the opportunity that you give me to take to come and talk about this. Thank you so much. I love you as always.
Love you as well, man. See, I'm going to see you anyway later today. So, Kamal Business. Make sure you actually go ahead and check what Tonye does. There are so much of the businesses, and Kamal Business. Again, just maybe you've actually convinced yourself to go and give it a check, give it a shot for Dubai, and Tonye can actually help you get there in a very good, reliable, simple process. Thank you so much, and let's roll on to the next session. God bless you, Zero. Bye bye.
All right, bro. Take care. Bye. See you, bro.